Hello everyone and welcome to this TACAN DME tutorial in the AV8B. We're about to fly a TACAN DME approach to HMS Hermes. At the moment I'm just around the top of the arc here, top of the holding area. I'm turning into the beacon to take up our hold of 4,000 feet, the minimum hold altitude. From there making rate 1 turns about 30 degrees at 240 knots for 1 minute. 1 minute outbound, 1 minute back in, hopefully fly straight to the beacon on the 138 or 318 radial. After that we'll just fly one more hold to get to the outbound position, descending from 4,000 to 2,000 once we're astern the ship. Reaching by 4 miles, making a left turn 45 degrees off for the procedural turn. 1 minute outbound before making another rate 1 turn, intercept into the final approach track. At 6 miles descend from 2,000 to 1,000, and at 4 miles begin our 3 degree slope to the ship. If we're not visual by a quarter of a mile, we'll be going around, following the dotted line there, straight ahead to 2 miles, 500 feet, and at 2 miles start climbing to 3,000 feet and back to the hold. So the TACAN is 5 miles away, we're just turning inbound now. So symbology on the EHSD, the triangle shape is our TACAN, this is our track line, and the caret at the top there at the moment is where the needle is pointing to the TACAN. Waiting for that to drop, there it's starting to move now, be moving over to the right hand side. When it does, we'll make our turn to the first 1 minute hold. Max speed 240 knots, I'm just going to bring that speed back. So that's the needle beginning to fall. There it goes, so now a left turn. About 30 degrees angular bank, checking on the standby artificial horizon down here, that big line. Try and maintain 240 knots, and the time was 38 on the HUD clock. You can use the seconds on the HUD clock, or you can use the mechanical stopwatch, or the timer function on the UFC. I prefer the seconds on the HUD clock, it's just easier. So regularly checking angular bank versus altitude, angular bank speed, angular bank altitude, etc. Flying as accurately as we can for the best results. So 30 seconds to go, looking quite good on the turn, 90 degrees left to turn. That's time with just 10 degrees left to turn, so we're not close enough for that angular bank. Bottom right hand corner of the HUD shows the track the aeroplane's flying, 138, that's what we're after. Looking for the needle to come through the 9 o'clock as it is now. You see on the left hand side the TACAN is here. So we start our timing 00, so 1 minute, 25 minutes, 25:00. When we reach that time, it will be a left turn again, a 1 minute turn at 30 degrees angular bank. So come out for our turn, 5 seconds to go, preparing for a 30 degree bank. Now. Tiny touch of power just to keep the speed at 240 knots. Checking my angular bank regularly, checking my altitude. Halfway through the time now, slightly short on the turn, so just increase that angle of bank a few degrees. Inbound track 318, flying towards the TACAN. We're now 2 miles ahead of the ship, flying towards it. And I'll fly one more hold, and from the next one we will fly outbound. Watching for the needle to fall. There it goes, time 01, turning left. Now we finish the turn, looking for the needle to fall. There it is at 9 o'clock to us now, so we'll look at the time. It's call that 30, 1 minute to go. For the next stage, beacon outbound, so currently we're heading up this line here. We'll come a left turn, and when we get to the beacon, we'll report beacon outbound, descending, leaving 4,000 feet, descending 2,000 feet. We'll descend to idle, nice and quick down, so we can reach 4,000 feet, reach 2,000 feet before 4 nautical miles. That will happen quite quickly, because we want to be level for the next turn, which is going to be a 45-degree left turn. Off that track is going to be 272. Once the wings level, 1 minute, and we'll come around the corner and pick up the approach. So preparing for our turn, 3 seconds to go, and hack. Half the time, half the turn, looking good. Keep monitoring that bank angle. And here we are, beacon inbound now for the last time. As we cross over this time, it will be a descent to 2,000 feet. So prepare for our descent. There goes the needle. Red 3 beacon outbound, leaving 4,000 for 2,000. I've gone to idle and I'm looking for about a 3,000, 4,000 feet a minute rate of descent just to get us down before that 4 nautical mile astern the ship. Holding the bearing outbound, so 318. 1,000 feet to go. There we are, level at 2,000 feet, 3 DME, so 1 mile to go, just enough time to think about our left turn. It's going to be on to 272. Now. Wings level at time 40. 1 minute. So 40 seconds to go. You can see we're heading out 45 degrees away from our final approach course, and then it's going to be a right turn, turning back onto that line. The turn will fall short, so we'll stop our turn 30 degrees before the final approach course, just to bring that line in, and we'll join final somewhere around about 8 miles. There's 40 seconds on my HUD clock, turning right, 30 degree bank. So inbound is 138, so 108 degrees I will roll level and bring in that final approach track. See the HUD carrot showing 122 is the bearings of the ship at the moment. That needs to read 138, so at 135 I can make my turn in. Be too far off on this one, a very short intercept. There's 108, looking for 135 for that hard carrot. See now we're intercepting the line at 30 degrees. And the top right of the heading tape there you can see 133 to the ship. When that reads 135 I'll do another 30 degree bank and we should roll out on 138. There's 135, right turn. Radio call to the ship. Red 3 procedural turn complete. 9 nautical miles. And now we're going to fine tune that track just to get that needle back to 138, because we don't want to be too far left or right of the ship now, otherwise we may not see it. So I'll give myself a couple of degrees just to drag that back in. Next, looking for 6 miles, our final approach fix. That should be at 2,000 feet, and then we descend down to 1,000 feet, level before 4 miles. Descending now. Idle descent and at least 2,000 feet a minute for this. 1,000 feet will come fairly quickly, but so will that 4 mile point. Can now configure the aircraft for landing. Red 3, 4 miles. So 3 miles should be 900 feet, and we descend at 700 feet a minute from there onwards. Constantly watching our track now. I'm a fraction low passing 3 miles to 40 feet low. Not too bad, but I'm just going to correct that because we want accuracy at this point. Minimum is 300 feet at 1 mile, and we must have visual contact with the ship to descend below that. So adjusting my rate of descent to about 700 feet per minute. That's our 300 foot minimum, so we level out here. 1.5 miles, we got there very slightly early. We can fly a level segment now, 300 feet. And now looking for any signs of the ship, whether that be a light or wake or some form of visual reference that we're getting close. If we have nothing by 1/4 mile, 0.2, we will be going around. I have lights of the ship ahead. Descending now down, there's a visual cue down to my usual 130 feet next to the ship for the beam position. Coming up to 1/2 mile, I can go for a hover stop. There's a 1/4 mile, no visual, we go around, we're visual, looking good. Yes, at this point you could cross the deck and to land on the spot of your clearance. I will once again fly the go around and we'll end there, so waving off now. So following the ship track straight ahead to 500 feet.
Altitude, 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 altitude.
There's 500 feet, speed's a little high, but we'll go out to 2 miles, climbing left turn to 3,000 feet. 2 miles, climbing left 3,000 feet, 20 degrees angle of bank. And now we're just climbing in this left turn all the way back to the TACAN, where you join the hold again, and hopefully you'll be the next one out of the holding stack for the procedure, otherwise you could be getting low on fuel. Anticipating level off there, there's 3,000 feet. Now just turning to the beacon. And they're inbound track to the TACAN, and from here all you do is enter the hold again, 240 knots, 3,000 feet, and await your clearance. I hope that's been informative, and enjoy practicing.